the pictures asking if it was an apartment complex. Like, this place is massive. So the way Rick was kind of describing it to me, he was like, he said it so nonchalantly, which made it just incredible. But he said, all of my living space and everything I've sort of secluded into the west wing of the house, and the LAN network is going to be in the east wing. And, kind of like threw me off. Like, why? Like, you've got an east and a west wing of your house.
Makes me kind of wonder.
I've got like a hallway and a bedroom. Like I've got like my own bathroom. Like,
that's cool as hell.
The LAN network, that's crazy. So, this house is going to be absolutely awesome. And just to give you guys a quick update, I'm actually getting some pictures and progress pictures of the LAN center itself. So I'll be leaking those in the future on thelannetwork.com. Stay tuned for that. It's going to be sick.
Yeah, Tata's basement was awesome, where the first TLN was, and then moving to this next house was even cooler, as you got the whole house now. So, I'm pretty excited to, I've seen the pictures on TLN, so I'm pretty excited to, when this thing actually opens up, just to go out there. If there's a guy getting lost by himself, man, then it's got to be gigantic. It's got to be awesome in there. So, I can't wait to get there.
Yeah. Might as well throw.
Does that mean that when you guys do the pros versus Joes things, or you do like the big lands, does that mean like you can actually have more Joes like participate in that? And when you are we talking more than just 5-team lands? Are we talking like 8-team lands, or a bigger number? Since the house is bigger, so I'm assuming the setup will probably be
pretty
bigger.
much have local tournaments if they wanted.
Yeah, like a local.
Yeah, there you go. I think it's probably safe to say that there might be a little bit of expansion with the amount of teams going out to each LAN. Obviously it's kind of a little too early to tell. I know he's already looking into scheduling the first LAN. He's already looking into what team should come out and that sort of thing. So I think before too long we'll be able to tell, how many teams are going to be coming out to different LANs, and, who's going to be at the first LAN and all that kind of thing. So that should unfold pretty soon.
I think it would be interesting if they actually added another game like Call of Duty in the future, if the house is so big, and tried to get more coverage on different games.
Yeah, and that's something he mentioned a little bit in the interview, is that he's definitely interested in expanding to different titles, and I think ultimately that could make the LAN network something that is really cool for esports in general, and not just the Halo community. So I'm excited to see where that goes.
Yeah, with a house that large, you would think that expansion is only a matter of time, just because, he can see the money in other games like StarCraft and Call of Duty with their huge communities. I would feel that he would, being the businessman that he was, would want to throw them into the mix as well if he has enough room for all that kind of stuff. Whether he wants to just start with Halo and then bring those things in off the bat. I think he can see the potential in what he has in front of him. I think that's the biggest thing, is his eyes are huge, and he's ready just to go at it, is pretty much what I get from this guy. And it's great to see, because we need that kind of enthusiasm and kind of, people to back the community into making it even bigger.
Yeah, that's what we've been lacking as of late, you could tell. Obviously Mr. P and Mrs. P did an amazing job, but lately it's just been, the whole community's been dying down, let alone people to stand up and take charge.
Yeah, and actually, I'll say that Mr. P and the whole Pinocchio family did an incredible job. Would never discredit them in any way. They did an absolutely phenomenal job with the LAN network. But ultimately, it came down to Mr. P, loved the game. He loved the thought of TLN, and he loved, Halo and the community. And ultimately, he did things as a hobby, which is cool. It had a lot of passion in it, and he really wanted the best for TLN. But now we're looking at it from the standpoint of, this is a business. It's something that Rick has plans that will thrive, be successful, and be this massive, big community, pretty much blow everything up. So I think looking at it from the lens of a business, and something that he wants to turn into something that's really successful, to me, it's kind of inspiring. You look at that idea and you think, like, wow, this could be so much more than any of us even have any idea.
I got a quick question for Small. Since you've been talking to him, do you know, when you said that he wants to keep everything to the root of TLN, is he going to be charging teams to come in and LAN, or how is that going to work?
That's not something that we've talked too much about yet. I wouldn't expect that pro teams would have to pay. I just think that's completely out of the question. I'll definitely check into that and get some info out on that because that's an interesting point I haven't even really looked into. I wouldn't think that there would be anything like that. I know one of our initial conversations was Rick saying, whatever he does, he wants to appeal to the pros. He wants the pros involved. He wants to bring everybody together, and ultimately he wants to make the pros happy with all of us so that we can all work together for the purpose and for the cause of TLN. So something like that, in my opinion, would discourage a lot of people. And I think at this stage of the game, he isn't going to put something in place that would require pros to do that because, he's trying his hardest to appeal to everybody.
Got it.
That would be awesome.
Mike, don't worry. Your integrity as a pro player going to these sick-ass lands is going to be instilled in the new TLN. I have a feeling about it. I know that you want to go and land at these sick places. I know I want to go check it out. It's closer to me now than it was before. But I would assume that getting pro players there would get the amateur players to want to go, kind of like the pros versus Joe kind of thing. More pro players there appeal to more amateur players, giving them more reason to go than just land. Because, a lot of kids can land just in their area. So getting people like Flamesword and everybody else there, I'm sure is one of his top priorities to get more interest into the whole thing.
Yeah.
My question is, okay, so we know that pro teams wouldn't have to pay to go. I kind of guess this kind of was when Mike was actually asking about the pros, but what if an amateur team wanted to come and practice at TLN? Has that been talked about? That if you're an amateur team, you're oh, okay, well, can we pay a certain amount of money so that we can get good practice in before a tournament? Has that?
Yeah, as far as specifics are concerned with that, we haven't really gotten too far into talking about that. At this point, all I can really guarantee is that there will be an opportunity for AM teams to make it out to the house and practice and, get involved with the pro teams and do things, either pros versus Joes or things where, there's just a bunch of AM teams that are coming out and practicing and things like that. I'm not too sure as far as an entry price, but I don't know. I think it's something that he's going to play around with and see what works.
I have a decent idea too. For example, if they were to do an online tournament run through the LAN network and then have the winner get flown out to land with a bunch of pro teams, that would be a really good opportunity, I think. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I think so too. I think even if they were able to get however they end up running their schedule for the month, where maybe you have 2 weeks an AM thing going on, 1 week a pro thing. The two best teams from each of those come out at the end of the week, and you have a final main big event type of deal at the end of the month. I think would be a pretty cool idea. Your idea would be great too. All amateur players compete in an online tournament to come maybe 4-6 teams to one LAN, and then the winner of that gets to come to the pro LAN like that. So there's more into it, and it just gets more people playing and more people viewing.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah, I like the idea of the pro-am kind of meshing and creating one sort of big tournament. Even I would be interested in something like that. Not that I'm going to be going and playing, but I'm saying it appeals to players that want to make it out to the house and want to do something like that. That want to play with pro players as well. You're going to want to compete in all aspects, so you can get these chances to possibly break out as a player or, get better, better instruction from pro players at TLN. I think would also be a good thing would be kind of like a class. Maybe an adopt a noob per se, which is kind of like pros versus Joes, but you get one pro who has two students during the weekend. You teach them the ins and outs. It's kind of you're going to Halo school for the weekend, and at the end of that, maybe play a 2v2v2v2v2 or something like that. Well, 2v2, but I'm just saying, throw them on teams, and at whichever, pro player has the best result gets some sort of prize, and their team gets some sort of prize. I think something like that would be pretty cool, and I would, enjoy watching the progression of, amateur players from the teaching of pro players.
Yeah, it definitely sounds cool. That should be definitely looked into.
Yeah, there's going to be some big things out of the LAN network, I know, in the coming months probably. especially if they get a LAN going within the next 2 or 3 months. The first event's probably going to be in March anyway.
April,
Most
son.
likely.
Yeah,
March.
somewhere around there.
March.
Yeah, and I don't want to say too much, but I think it's safe to say that you guys can expect to land within the next 2 or 3 months. I think that'd be safe to say.
So we're expecting a land before the first event. Let's just throw it out there that first event is in March. We should expect the land before March, is what you're saying.
I mean, I think that's a pretty safe rule to go by. Yeah,
I don't want to stump you or anything,
to
but
think something like that.
well, I mean,
Another suggestion: you got to make sure that Rick gets someone as good as Gina, Mrs. P, to be the cook. I mean,
Ooh.
that cooking is one of the best parts of the house, and it's got to remain one of the best parts of the house.
Yeah, for sure.
can we start a petition, not a petition, but a poll on TLN's website of having him hire her out as possible
Primary
chef?
cook?
Yeah, primary cook.
Yeah, no, I think we could definitely check something out like
'Cause-
that. I don't know.
I read in the interview. you wanted to
I'm
keep-
expecting a big banquet meal or something like that every day. We'll see. It'd be awesome.
Yeah, well, I see Mike down there licking his chops at what could potentially be a feast when he goes to these lands.
I'm just saying, there's a bunch of wings in the house. I want breakfast served to me, and I have people just bringing food over to my wing of the house.
Okay.
Here you go, sir.
Kind of like room service. Oh man.
There you go.
That's the best.
Let's just throw out the red carpet for him while we're at it, guys. All right. I mean, apparently that's what he wants.
Anyway, is there anything else in there? Is there anyone else in the chat that has any questions that you could direct towards any of us?
Yeah, if you got
Actually,
questions for Small or for
Feel free to hit us up.
for Flame Sword, anything like that. If you want to throw in questions, go ahead and throw it in the chat. Coach Phil. Okay.
Ooh.
Ooh, this is a tough one. Let's hear it.
So, Coach Phil, my man, YouTube sensation, he asked the question: will the prolific Coach Small be at all of the lands helping run things, or just the one his team will be in? Honestly, I'm gonna try to definitely make it out to all of the lands. I'm gonna try to be at the first one and the last one, and every single one in between. We're talking different ideas like commentating lands, doing different things, different video angles, different broadcasting experience, things like that. And that's definitely something I would love to be a part of. However I can help out, I want to be involved and I want to be in the scene. So yeah, I'm gonna try my best to make it out to all the lands for sure.
I mean, we can only hope that Small's in attendance. That's how I feel.
Better
Appreciate
be.
it.
Everyone.
Yeah. What else is there? Yeah, Snyder Man, that's a terrible question because we know the Red Wings are the best.
Oh man.
Oh man, we didn't want to start talking about sports right now.
Yeah. This isn't a sports forum or else this to get old fast. Esports
Put the E in
forum.
front of it.
Esports forum.
Esports.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but moving on. I think that obviously from what Small has been talking about, that the new TLN is going obviously to be going in the right direction. The fact that he's going to be running it more as a business kind of helps protect its longevity. If he's making more money off of it, then it gives him a better chance of keeping it, and it gives a better chance for more people to go and experience it, which then in turns allows other people to get drawn to it. Would be the best thing, and hopefully that he brings pros into it. Hopefully for free is what we're all hoping. So to get amateur players there would be the best thing. And as for streams, I know Frank is in the chat. I've heard he wants to cast for TLN streams. I don't know if they're going to be doing that. I don't know if Small knows if they're going to be casting, something like that as an actual tournament or what they're going to be doing.
There's definitely some talk. I'll say that much.
All right, well, there's some talk, Frank. There's hope for you.
There's some talk. There's definitely hope.
There's hope for you and Unbreakable to get on the stream and to get your cute faces on there at all times.
Might as well book your tickets now.
Lord knows I would love to tune into that stream. I don't get to see it at events, so hopefully we get some good casters